What's up everybody? Welcome, olá a todos, bem-vindos ao meu canal. If you're new here, se vocês são novos aqui, my name is Vilma and today I'm going to be doing a first impressions and wear test on the new NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. Please excuse my voice, I sound super duper nasally. I'm recovering from a really sore throat. I was sneezing a little bit, but I wouldn't say I had a cold, but I'm recovering from that. So my voice came back today and I'm really excited because I really wanted to do a first impressions and wear test on this foundation. Now I picked mine up at my local Boots. It retails for £15. It carries 1 fluid ounce, which is a 30 ml of product, and it comes in a glass jar with a lid and a pump, which is always good. Now the shade that I've matched myself to is Beige, which is quite golden, I would say, not really yellow but more on the golden side. Unfortunately, the shade below this one, which I believe would have been the perfect match for me, and I'll put the name here on the screen, they didn't have it in the store. They only had the tester, but they did not have that in the store. So I really wanted to try this foundation. It's been out for a while in the US, but over here it's been released a few weeks ago, and I really wanted to get this review up for you guys and let you know what my thoughts are. So I'm going to quickly read the description on the NYX Cosmetics website on the foundation. It says the lightweight, waterproof, and pigmented AF. Our new Can't Stop, Won't Stop full coverage foundation hustles as hard as you do. This comfy liquid formula comes in 45 flattering tones that don't transfer. Every creamy shade glides on smooth, delivering a matte coverage and color that stays true for up to 24 hours. Now, I don't know why a lot of brands are claiming 24 hours. I don't wear my foundation for that long. A maximum of maybe 10 to 12. After that, I just feel suffocated and I need to remove it. But for those of you who wear it, hopefully it will last the entire day. Now for application, as always, I'm going to be using 2 tools. I'm going to be using a sponge by Real Techniques and a buffing brush by ELF. I love these two over here. I mentioned them before. They're like perfect from the drugstore for you to apply and buff your foundation or creamy products really well. So the shade is actually not as dark as I was thinking it would be, so hopefully it will work for me. So on first impressions of this first layer, I really like the finish of the foundation and how it applied. It looks really smooth, like it really glided onto the skin. It did have a scent of kind of like a foundation scent, but I don't smell it right now. But before I applied, I did smell it. And as you can see, I have a breakout right over here and it did not cover that breakout. So I'm going to apply another layer just to see how far we can go with the coverage. So far, I'm really not mad at the coverage of the foundation. I really like this shade. I didn't think this shade would be suitable for me, but it's actually really nice. It's blending in super nicely. It's layering amazingly well. But again, I still have the breakout over here. But to be honest with you guys, I'm not a full coverage type of girl. Although I love the flawless finish, that is just not the finish that I go for. but the foundation does claim to be full coverage. I still have a little bit on the back of my hand, but I'm not going to apply more and more layers because I really don't like that type of look. So I'm going to be realistic to my personal preferences, but I feel like you can definitely layer this foundation. I feel like the sponge applied really nicely as well, a lot quicker obviously than with the brush because you need to buff it in, whereas this one, it just, you know, you just need to pat, and it definitely works really quick. I have a little mark right over here. It didn't cover that mark, but that's expected because sponges, they kind of like sheer out foundations. So I'm going to apply a little bit more. I do feel like the coverage is fine the way that it is, but I'm going to apply a little bit more just to see, just to kind of like even out with the left side. So application of the foundation is done, and definitely not mad at the coverage that I'm getting. It's definitely full coverage, but I would have to apply maybe a concealer right here to cover that. But I'm not really paranoid about my skin shining through, the imperfections such as marks, freckles shining through. I feel like that looks a little bit more skin-like and more natural. The foundation has definitely set. It's not feeling heavy at all. And the shade, as I said, I'm not mad about the shade. It is a little bit golden, like I was expecting it to be from the bottle, but it still works okay. I feel like this would be perfect for an NC35 by MAC. But I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So I'm back with my makeup completely done, and so far I am loving how flawless my makeup looks. Now I had to change these settings in my camera because it's a miserable day. I have a huge natural window here, natural light better saying, over here, and it looks very dark outside and it's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So hopefully the change in lighting is not that bad. Now the only thing I have to say, which I have noticed, it's been about 45 minutes to an hour since I've applied the foundation. The smile lines, which is the place where I always have a bit of issues, the foundation is settling into my smile line. So that is one of the things I've noticed. Around my nose, just right over here in the corner, there is a little bit, I mean, you can't really see it, but because I'm putting the mirror so close, there is a little bit of cakiness just around there. It could have been because I didn't blend the foundation very well, but it's also happening on this side. But overall, I am really loving how the foundation looks. So I'm going to wear it for at least 8 hours, and then I'll come back and give you guys my final thoughts. So I'm back at the end of the day to show you guys how the foundation is holding on. It's currently 7:30 in the evening, and I'm ready to take this makeup off because this is around the time that I do take my makeup off. I hate having makeup in the evening. I'm kind of like getting ready to chill and go to bed. So I've had the foundation on for about 7 hours, and because this foundation claims to be a very long wearing foundation, up to 24 hours, I was just expecting the foundation to perform well, which it has definitely done that. I am not looking super duper oily. I feel like the foundation has set on my skin super nicely, and all the products like as skincare products that I've used, check the info bar below. I don't use a lot of things. I don't use primers, so today I have no different on my skin. And so far I do really like how the foundation is holding on. Now doing a close-up for you guys, the same place that I said was kind of like separating a little bit was in the corner of my mouth, or my, better saying, the smile lines. It still looks exactly the same as it did when I first applied it. It has rubbed off just a little bit on my upper lip. I can see that it's kind of like, I don't know, I ate, had some pizza like maybe half an hour ago. That could have been just the tissue itself that done that to the foundation. Everywhere else I am just looking a little bit shiny. My concealer is starting to kind of like disappear a little bit, and I'm starting to have a little bit, just a little bit of panda eyes. Again, that is quite normal because I did my lower lashes with my mascara, so sometimes it still does transfer. I have a little bit of tissue here, and I'm going to blot on camera just to show you guys how the foundation looks after I blot. So one of the claims of this foundation is that it's not transferable, but looking at my tissue, and my lights are probably washing it out, it definitely has transferred onto the tissue. Now looking at myself in the mirror, the foundation looks intact. My blush is still there, my bronzer is still in the right place. It just looks like I freshly applied it, besides underneath my eyes. But as mentioned before, if I apply mascara or my lower lashes, it always transfers a little bit, but the foundation looks exactly the same. Everything is fine. The coverage is still there. I still see this mark over here and a pimple that I had here. However, it looks exactly the same as it did earlier on today. So I do really like it. I feel like I'm going to continue to wear this foundation throughout the week, but I'm going to apply less coverage, as in I'll probably only use one pump all over my face and kind of like do my everyday makeup, and probably update you guys in the info bar below whether this foundation has broken me out, because it's good to wear it for a little bit longer. But as a first impressions, I think it's a lovely foundation from the drugstore. The shade range is amazing. I actually feel like this shade works really well for me. It's a little bit golden, more golden than my undertone, but I can still make it work, especially if I use a little bit less coverage, if that makes sense. So that is my first impression / review. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried this foundation. What do you think about it? Or if you would like for me to try other foundations in the future, so I can come over here and give you guys some content that you actually want to see. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.